カスタマイズ。
愛しそうな旅 to the future 共に行こうさ明日も今日も僕たちの旅は続く
Hello everyone and welcome to Lost in Translation on AppliEpisode 21. I'm May.
And I'm Jay.
And this time we watched The Road Trip, I gave it a new name, The Road to the Top Idol, Coachmon's Intensive Training. Yeah. I like this episode.
It's a good one.
But what were some of your favourite bits?
So, my favourite bits, I guess, it's the summary of what happened in the episode, right? Primarily, it's that Eri is taking this training, and she's taking what is meant to be not real training to kill her.
Yeah.
But she wants her dream so badly that she's powering through the whole thing. And it's really cool. Like, she's even collapsing, and she's still getting up. Then, at the end of the day, she was training for what she thought was a big tryout or something, but it was just rock, paper, scissors. And it's just this... It's such a long build-up to nothing. And I think that joke was actually quite funny.
Yeah, because she tried so hard, and it was basically like a test of willpower. And she was showing how much willpower she had, and that was why she became an idol, because, you know, she's the centre of the universe, and she'll give you a Dokkan Punchy.
It's also a little bit of commentary on, like, the idol industry of, like, oh, it's all arbitrary and meaningless.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of cool insight into her character. I thought that Coachmon's like turnaround was really earned.
It was so funny as well. Like, yeah, it definitely felt earned that she kept on going at it, and Coachmon was inspired despite being actually there to kill her, and he was won over because of how much strength and dedication and determination she had.
And that sort of brings me to my favourite part of the episode, which is the stupidest part, but also, like, it just felt really nice. And it's Coachmon breaks, and he goes, and he hugs her, and he goes, I have to tell you, I'm a Leviathan henchman, but this changes nothing. And Haru's in the background, he goes, no, wait, no, yes it does!
Yes, it does matter, actually. That was the best part. I love Haru so much, despite it not being a Haru episode, he still has, like, one of the best moments in the episode.
It doesn't matter that I work for Leviathan! Yes, hold on. What, no? Yeah, it does. Don't lose that thought. That's important.
How upset do you think Myosin was when basically she brought up Coachmon, and then Coachmon had a friend who was a 7 code? Like, how upset do you think she was?
I don't know. I can't tell how rare they're meant to be. If they're meant to be really rare, they shouldn't be finding one every day.
Yeah, well, in the start of the season, we were getting them every, so often, and it wasn't too common, and now we're getting it every episode.
It's episode 21, and there are 7. So the average is that every 3 episodes they find one. That is not uncommon.
Yeah, good point. And we've had the last 2 episodes have been 7 codes.
You mean 7 code?
Yeah, I feel like...
Good little spike there.
Yeah, that spiked in the audio. But, we'll just get back to the positives. I really, really like this episode. I like how we got another bit of Eri's backstory, and how she has, like, the idol senpai.
Who is just Blandy McBlanderson.
Yeah, she's like the most least main character I've ever seen, with her pretty normal brown long hair, and she's
total lack of personality.
She has blue eyes, and that's about it. Like, she has really interesting looking eyes.
Her entire personality is that Eri looks up to her. That's not a personality, that's a description.
Yeah. See, in this episode, I was like, is Eri not that popular as an idol compared to the other ones? Because I always thought that she was the top one, but...
Oh, no, I never thought that.
See, I just always thought that because she was always saying that she's, the centre. I just assumed that she was, the leader.
No, that was always clearly, her self-aggrandizement. Her first introduction was, look at her with these 2 other kind of nobodies on this, talk show. She wasn't treated as special. In fact, everyone was like, I don't really get it. So I never really thought she was crazy popular. She's actually more popular than I thought she was. When they showed the big, there's 470 of them, they go, how popular is she? It zoomed in near the top, and I was like, whoa, huh? And then it zoomed down, and I was like, oh, okay. Then it said dead center, 235. And I was like, okay. That actually makes her in the bottom half, doesn't it?
It also makes her in the top half, technically.
No, because it's not an odd number. It's an even number. 235 is the top of the bottom half.
Okay, good point.
Because then there's another 235 above, which means 236 is at the same center level as her, but slightly better.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And
I thought she'd be the 400s.
I loved how Dokkan was so... But that's still really, really, really good, considering you just joined.
Well, yeah, and when you think about it, like, over a short period of time, it is very impressive. But I don't know what that short period of time is. Was it a year, or has it been 2 months?
Well, she became an idol just nearabouts when she got the Appli driver, and that was only quite recently, I think.
Was it? Because she never indicated how long it's been. We just knew she kept Agumon as a chip forever.
I think it was only a matter of like a couple of weeks, maybe a month.
So she's probably been... Yeah, she's probably been an idol for 2-3 months now.
Yeah, which isn't that long.
Then she's killing a lot of those people.
Yeah, considering some people, we don't know how long the other people have been a member for.
How much do you think you'd pay the 470th most popular idol in your group, i.e. the worst one?
2 yen.
Oh, so you think at one point it just becomes a hobby?
Yeah.
Is it weird that Eri has what is essentially a full-time job? Is it a full-time job? I don't know the industry very well.
I don't know the industry well as well because,
Does she go to school?
We don't actually see her in school uniform except for the pre-idol scenes that she's wearing a school uniform. But besides that, she's always in her idol outfit.
She dropped out of school for this?
She might have, and she might be doing homeschool or, after class or something, I don't know.
They never mention it. That's actually interesting.
Yeah, because we've seen Astra at school and we've seen Haru at school, but we've never seen Eri at school. And I would like to find out more about Eri and her character. I really like Eri, and I like her more with this episode. And any other favourite bits?
Hold on. I've really described the things I liked in really broad strokes. No, I feel like that covers most of it.
I love how Digimon, I think it's called.
The wrestler.
Yeah, he's a wrestler. I love that. We both love that. I like how cool he looks.
You know what he is?
What?
He's just Machamp.
He is Machamp because he has the extra arms.
And the belt.
Yeah, and the belt. Yeah, he is Machamp. He's just Machamp,
He's
you're right.
Machamp with a lion head.
Yeah, which worries me. Cause
This is the right colour.
What if he's the Leomon evolution? What if he dies?
There's no Leomon in this show.
Yeah, but what if he's the Leomon?
No, there can't be.
What if, though?
He's just very Bancho.
My main favourite was, like, Coachmon's turnaround of, like, no, you've inspired me so much. Your willpower and determination is inspiring, and that's so sweet.
Yeah.
And that whole scene was just fantastic, and I really liked it.
I can't undermine this student. I must be a coach.
On to negatives?
The only negative I can think is how despicably obvious it was that they weren't going to be using that 7 code.
Yeah, it was going to get taken.
Slowly slid towards the slate. Really just edged towards it. Just waiting for a bad guy to take it away from my hand that's holding it. Just waiting for it.
See, because Atmon's so meta, I thought they were going to do that as more of a joke to the audience because it's constantly referencing like tropes and things from media that's cliched and stuff like that. So this is very an obvious thing, and usually they stray away from the obvious and make something else happen or make someone comment on it.
No, this time around it was just wait for it.
And honestly, that was surprising that they didn't actually make any reference. Like Gashmo didn't say, "Why are we taking so long?"
Yeah, I did.
Or something meta, because that's what I like about Atmon, is that it's extremely meta.
Gashmo should have been like, just put it in already!
I do have another negative.
What is it?
But it's not so much a negative as, like, the last bit of the episode was so rushed.
The whole episode felt like the Coachmon bit felt normal and at a reasonable pace, and everything else felt really fast. Everything from, it was rock, paper, scissors competition. Okay, I met my senpai. She said some stuff that was supposedly inspirational. Okay, whatever. I'm back here. I'm fighting with my friends because everything went down beforehand. Okay, we beat him. Oh, it's a 7 code! And that's like the whole episode.
Yeah.
That all takes place in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it was it was a good episode, don't get me wrong. But I felt that they had used so much time at the start, which was fine. Then when they got to the actual battle, they were like, oh my gosh, we just have to, okay, he just launches an attack and beats it, I guess.
Myosin says, I don't like lightning.
Yeah, no, that was cute, but that's not a negative.
No, but it's just a random thing for him to say.
Yeah.
But you know what? I prefer them building up the character parts than the battle parts.
No. I'm just... It's not necessarily like a super large negative, it's just that it made the rest of the episode, like the last few minutes, feel like a lot happened. Like, oh, he won 7 code, Myosin shows up, takes a 7 code, she runs off. And, I think that's sort of like a negative. It's more of a... I feel like they needed more time, which is strange because a lot of the time when we're reviewing Digimon stuff, it's always they had so much filler in this episode that made no sense. It could have just been removed.
You couldn't have lost stuff in this episode, I don't think.
Honestly...
If you taken out any part of the Coachmon bit, it would have felt less earned.
I feel like they could have even cut down the evolution, but they wouldn't have done that because it's a first-time evolution. So I feel like that gave them even less time.
The animation is so long.
Yeah, the animation is very long, and it's not particularly, like, amazing and interesting like previous Digimon evolutions, and it
can
doesn't have
slowly spin.
Yeah, it doesn't have its like the special, Braveheart or Card Slash or With the Will or any of those songs that we've had. It just sort of has
Basketball music.
Yeah, basically. And I guess that's sort of like a negative on the whole show, is that it doesn't have those insert songs that previous seasons of Digimon have had a lot of.
Oh, it did what's it called? The Net Ocean is in a big pinch.
Oh, the Globemon
episode.
episode, yes, but that was the opening. It wasn't anything new.
That's awesome.
But that was cool. That was a cool way. But I'm kind of glad
Hey.
they didn't do that again. What?
What would it be like if you took the evolutions, because they've got the dun 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 dun. What if you put Space Jam over that?
Oh my gosh, can someone do that? Can you do that?
No, I can't do that.
I can't do that. I can't do that either. But no, get up and slam and welcome to the Jam AppliEpisode. I don't know. I'm not musical in the slightest.
Come on and slam on, and welcome to the Jam On. This song is Worthmon.
It's part of your playlist.
Playlist.
Favorite character? Because you can't say Haru.
I want to say Haru. He has the best line in the episode.
It's a good line, but I like Dokomon.
It has to be Eri.
I like Dokomon because Dokomon's just all like, why are you calling her without any honorifics? Coachmon, stop. Like, he gets a little bit jealous, and I like Dokomon because he's always like, Doka-chan! And he's so cute.
No. She's doing the running bit,
Yeah.
and she's like, Gatchamon. And then he goes, Gatchamon, Musimon, Dokamon, Doka-chan.
Yeah, that's so cute. And I love him. And I like Eri in this episode, and they haven't had that, her catchphrase that was starting to become a bit grating. And she does say it once, but it was when she's about to dive into the water, and she says, I'm going to give the water an explosive heart punch, and everyone's like, no, you'll die.
Oh, we forgot to mention that they also briefly covered how the Climate Mon was messing with everybody, and it cancelled Afro Guy's trip to Hawaii.
Oh my god, I love Afro Guy so much.
He suffers so much.
Like, I love him.
But does he suffer any more or less than like Haru does?
He suffers as much as any of the other civilians in these episodes, and I feel like it's nice that we
Actually,
have...
that's not true. They really amp it up with him. He ended up in like Egypt or something.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was walking to get the easiest way to get to somewhere, and he ended up in Egypt. Yeah, thanks Afro Man. I love him though. And I love that that's sort of like a running gag, because I never feel like, oh gosh, they're doing this. I'm always like, how will Afro Man suffer in this episode? And then I'm always very happy, and it makes me laugh, and it's funny, and I think it's a good joke.
I want to put together, like...
Sorry, I just have to interrupt you. What if he is the president of L Corp?
No.
What if he's like a super bad guy?
No. He wouldn't be being messed up by this then. Also, the president walked in. We saw him.
What if
He was
he's like...
bringing...
But what if he is...
Manumon tea.
What if he's Leviathan?
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
What if he's Leviathan?
I think it'd be funny if you put together this, like, the McBain movie in The Simpsons. Do you remember that at all?
Yeah.
So, how there's lots of different mini-scenes, but it turns out when you put them all together, there's a big story.
Yeah.
If you put together all of Avraman's scenes, what do you pick up with it? Because as far as I remember, he's cheap, but also he was in Paris. Also, he's taking a trip to Hawaii now. Also, he works as a surgeon. Like, how much of this guy's life can you build up out of all the weird stuff that's happened to
So
him?
he has lots of money, but he likes always going for the cheapest option.
That's why he has money.
Yeah, so he saves up, but he's also a surgeon, so he's like probably quite a high-paying job.
Also, wears striped underwear.
Yes.
Like, some of the things aren't amazingly useful, but some of them are really useful.
Also, he wasn't too happy with all the women crowding around him, so
No.
maybe he's either gay or asexual or aromantic or something.
An odd pick, but fine.
No, because, like, a lot of men would be like, yeah, all those women want me. But
They were all like middle-aged old women.
No, there were some young women there. That's the thing.
Few.
So I think that I want more of this Afro-Man character. I feel like he's got a complex character background.
But I feel like they've shown us that he's a surgeon. Hasn't he had other jobs? I feel like he was a chef once.
He might have been, but I feel like that might have just been a hobby.
Okay. So yeah, I think he's interesting.
Miscellaneous bits, I guess we're already sort of like naturally gotten to the miscellaneous parts.
The important one, and the one I can think of, is that Coachmon was mysteriously not in 3D.
Yeah, what was with that?
My only theory is that he has to interact with Eri, and they can't figure out how the 3D characters interact with their 2D animated people. So rather than make him 3D for most of it, and then 2D for part of it, they said 2D the whole thing, and hopefully kids won't notice that he's a Super Appmon who's not 3D.
He was 3D in the evolution.
And like, this brings up the question of why aren't they all in 2D?
I think it's to show that they're special.
Yeah, but if you're going to start ruining that, just don't do it in the first place.
And I don't have any other miscellaneous bits. I think we addressed it all. I'm pretty excited to see more Atmon. Atmon's just getting better and better and better, and I hope it doesn't dip anymore. On to ranking?
You do whatever.
Alright, so ranking. This was a great episode. It is coming in second place, which means that no one still has been able to beat the Cameramon's Halloween Scandal episode, which is probably the best episode, and I think shapes how we feel about all of the episodes. Like, we compare it to that episode when we think about, is this a good episode? Because that was a clever episode.
What I want is, I think I talked to you about that before we began, is that for an Atmon episode to nearly beat episode 4, it has to show what makes Atmon special. Not just, oh, this character's really interesting, because this is what this episode did a really good job of it.
Yep.
It had a good little story arc, and the emotions were felt. But I need to see what makes it... Because at the end of the day, what was the fight? The fight was, oh, I was a wrestler, but really I just did an attack, and we won.
Yep.
Because I didn't have time, but show me why Atmon is different from Digimon in any way. That one was, okay, I'm a search engine and global positioning. I will combine that by searching out where all the cameras are and then global positioning, how to find a route around where the camera arcs are to beat my enemy who otherwise is unbeatable. And that's super clever. And every time people send us emails about this, about why they stopped doing this in various seasons, the answer invariably turns out to be, they just ran out of cleverness. And that's the saddest thing, that's the saddest answer I can imagine.
And I hope they haven't just run out of that cleverness in, just a couple of episodes, because you haven't actually seen Gatchmon win with his search. We've seen him say, oh, I'm going to win, and then that was the episode where Dokomon destroys all the Virusmon, I think. In that episode, and Gatchmon's like, okay, I'm going to do a search. And then Dokomon's like, I'm just going to punch them, and wins.
Yeah, that was fun. Dokomon's in a weak position like that, because he can't do anything but punch.
Yeah, and that's fine.
But, in that case, show us the controller again, and show us Eri being good at video games. I'll take that.
Yeah, no, that was cool, but I feel like we've only seen that once, and that was in the introduction episode. Same with Astra's DJ ability.
But that's weird, because they could be good.
Yeah, because we haven't actually seen Haru bring out that big keyboard again and, start punching away, because that was really, really, really cool. And I would like to, if we start seeing that again, then sure, they can beat episode 4. But at the moment, nothing's been able to beat episode 4 because of that. And while Gatchmon always does his, I'm going to search the internet for informations and finds out what Eri's ranked at, that's still clever, and that's a good part of the episode. But until we get, the actual, how does the human interact in the battle rather than just stand there, I feel like they're not going to be able to beat episode 4. Alright, so the next episode of Atmon, which we'll cover in another week, is episode 22, and it's called Lend Me Your Power. Ray and Hackmon, the meeting on that day. You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at lostintranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode or message us on SoundCloud. You can follow us on @translationmon on Twitter, and you can find us on Lost in Translation on Tumblr, Facebook, and YouTube. We have a discussion thread on With the Will and a Reddit thread in the Atmon subreddit. And we'd really super duper appreciate it if you were to review us on iTunes and or Stitcher.
And thank you to our Patreon supporters, Sam Krieger, who has a podcast called The Moncast, which talks about Pokemon and Digimon, Stevie, who is also Stevie on YouTube, and you can find the link to that channel in the description, Wu Qinglong, you can find at twitch.tv/Wu Qinglong, Metal Mamimon, Joe, Anime Guy, who is Anime Guy Kurosaki and the number 1 on YouTube, Chuckmon, Ishwabamba, Hiro Olato, who is at Hiro Olato on Twitter, Jason Morosky, Ryuchi, who is Frost Magic on Archive of Our Own, Stephen Reeves, who is at Wildwing64 on Twitter, Kaitawashi, Mac, Noam, Riku, Red and Garen from Breakfast for Digimon, which is another Digimon podcast, which you can find on SoundCloud, Chisai, who you can follow at Chisai236 on Tumblr, Corey, Kyle, The Lady Bugman, whose anime blog you can find at bagubaragu.wordpress.com, Small Wolfie, Lupin, and Tom.
You can also make a one-off donation on PayPal, which you found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/Ergemon. Make sure to let us know for the podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye-bye!